Okay, we're up to Daf Yod in Nazir. To tell you this Mishnah that we're about to do is strange would be an understatement. It's beyond strange. The Gemara is not so hard. The case of the Mishnah is just to figure out exactly what's going on. Now, you all heard of the Mr. Ed, the talking horse.
Of course.
Okay, now you're aging yourself. But for youngsters here, there was a talking horse and Mr. Ed. Now, this is not a talking cow. This is not a talking cow. According to the Rosh, a guy is surmising what his cow must be thinking. According to the Rosh, again, you cannot be having Rishonim grapple with trying to figure out exactly who, what, where, what's going on over here. But according to the Rosh learns Pshat that the guy is surmising this is what my cow is thinking, and based upon that, he makes a statement. Okay? So good luck. Says the Mishnah. Omar, a guy says, Omra Para, that his cow said, Zu Harini Nazira, that this cow said she's a Nazira in my medes if she stands up. Ani. So the guy says that my cow says if it stands up, it's a Nazira. And or Oimer Hadela says that Harini Nazira in Niftach Ani, the door must be stuck. And the guy says his door says, well, if I get open, then the door is Nazir. Now, the most strangest thing is Beishama Yarmim Nazir. Even though he doesn't make a Kabbalah's Naziris, he's a Nazir. As I state, and it's a wonder, but unfortunately, I can't mute it. Unfortunately. Hide the comment, just. Oh, yeah, uncle. Anyway, so Basil ain't a Nazir. Basil says he's not a Nazir at all. And again, the Rosh is Mefarish that it's speaking that he's surmising what his cow would say, not that his cow's talking, and not that the cow is being Makabel Naziris. So it's really Madna. If the cow is being Makabel Naziris, how is that considered Kabbalah Naziris for him? And the answer is that obviously he wouldn't be opening his mouth unless he meant something. In other words, going ahead and reporting what the cow is saying, there must be something behind it. So again, going along with yesterday's daf, that Ein Adam might see Devar Vatala Remeya, that Beishamai goes in the Shitas Remeya. So he's not might see Devar Vatala. This is what he must meant to say. Well, my cow is Makabel Naziris, then I'm Makabel Naziris. That's what he says. Rabbi Yehuda, similar to yesterday's daf, where Rabbi Yehuda said where the person was Makabel Naziris from raising dates and figs, and Rabbi Yehuda and the Tanakama argued in Beis Shammai. Like the Tanakama, he was a real Nazir. Like Rabbi Yehuda, no, he was only usher in figs and dates, because you can't be making yourself a Nazir from figs and dates, only grapes. Here, similarly, according to at least the first Pshat in the Gemara, Rabbi Yehuda is coming to disagree that he's not a Nazir, but he's it says Kenny Miller. What is Kenny Miller? Hello? Kenny?
Okay.
We're in the middle of Kenny. I'm in the middle of shit. I'm sorry, I can't talk.
One, two.
I just feel bad this is being taped for posterity. Anyway, so usually it's Heshi on the other end. So I'm Rabbi Yehuda. Afkish Amar Shammai le'amru el b'oima hari parazu alai carbon in my medesi. In other words, he's saying that this parash would be a carbon, but in other words, just like he's making a neder to not eat dates or not eat grapes, he's making a neder that this parash should be a carbon. Okay, so that's the Mishnah. Again, now obviously you don't have a talking cow. So what exactly is the case? Okay, what exactly is the case? And what's the machloikas Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel? Says the Gemara, Hara, Mikam Ishtoi, does a para talk? There's no such thing as a talking para. But the talking paras don't work. Good. So Amar Rami Bar Chama, Hachab Mayaskina, what are we dealing with over here? Kigoin, Shahaisa Para Ravutz Lefanav. The para was lying down in front of him. But Amar Kisvura Parazu, that Einoi Medes. This para says that it's not going to get up. And Hareini Nazar Mibsara Imamda. And he says, I'm a Nazar from its basar, if it gets up, Me'aleha by itself. In other words, eventually it's going to either two things. A person can get it up or it can get up by itself. Because I'm saying that this cow is saying that it's a nazar from its basar if it gets up by itself. Now it happened, v'omdu me'alaha, and it got up by itself. So guys, before we see the Gemara Vaita, let's go ahead and let's tushtell it, okay? Yesterday we said, the guy says, I'm a nazir. What am I a nazir from? From Devela and from Gregris. What's he saying now, according to this Peshat? That I'm being, my Kabbalah's Naziris is Al Yedei Basar. Just like Beis Shammai says, you can have a Kabbalah's Naziris Al Yedei Gregris and Devela, so too you can have a Kabbalah's Naziris Al Yedei Basar. This would be, therefore, very, very much a continuation of the previous Mishnah. Good? And as the Gemara says right now, says the Gemara, V'holchu Beis Shammai l'shitasan. And Beis Shammai goes according to their opinion, Beis Hillel l'shitasan, and Beis Hillel goes according to their opinion. That what? Just like Beis Shammai says, you can go ahead, Beis Shammai, the Amri, Mina Groigris, Mina Devela, Hari Nazir, Hachanami, Kiyama, B'sara, Havi Nazir. He'll be a Nazir, just like there he was a Nazir, despite the fact that there can't be a Kabbalah's Naziris, through dates and figs. So too, there can't be a Kabbalah's Naziris but through Basar. But just like there, you're a Nazir, over here, you're a Nazir as well. Again, what was the Sfari yesterday? We spoke at a beautiful Ketzos, Reish Nun Hey Beis, that Toich Kedei Dibur, he's changing his mind. However, Beis Shammai is of the opinion that ain't Sheila Behegdish. Now, when we said, it doesn't say anywhere in Shas ain't Sheila Behegdish. It says that Beis Shammai holds Hegdish B'Ta'os is a Hegdish. How does Sheila work? I made a mistake. If you hold making a mistake as Hegdish, then what? There's no going back. I feel a Toich Kedei Dibur. That was the Chiddush. The Ketzos is being the Raya. The mechanics of Toich Kedei Dibur is, what's the mechanics of Toich Kedei Dibur? That it corrects a mistake. But if the mistake is incorrectable, you don't have the parsha of Toich Kedei Dibur. It's Kedai to come for that time. That Ketzos. And that's the pshat over here. So the same thing over here. You go ahead, right? You go ahead and Basar, you're going to go ahead and make yourself a Nazir from Basar. You would be a Nazir. You would be a Nazir. Oh, the Gemara is going to make it tzrichasa. Think about it. Anyway.
Where's that mask now?
Again, it's not this. Again, whatever it is, it doesn't make a difference. In other words, he's saying not saying on tonight. No. Again, the cow was thinking this, right? The cow was thinking this. The cow's going to get up. He gets up. Okay. Anyway, this is his opinion. Why he's not a Nazir? Why? Because Shalom is Nadvin, Kederecham is Nadvin. He didn't go ahead and make Kabbalah Naziris in a normal manner. So this would parallel yesterday's Gemara. If this is the case, guys, if Rami Bar Chum is the pshat in the Mishnah, then what are you telling me that I know before? Right? You didn't tell me before. Now, this is a Peladik pshat. What do you mean? What are you telling me that I didn't know before? You're telling me tremendous Kiddush. That before you told me a guy said outright that if you go ahead and make a Naziris from the Veil and Gregris, and here you're telling me that something contingent upon the actions of a para, that's a Chiddush. So the Rush speaks out, guys. The Chiddush is a Beis Hillel. In other words, you didn't have to tell me another case to tell me Beis Hillel would allow it. Just like Beis Hillel in the first case wouldn't allow it, he wouldn't allow it here. So it really, Why are you telling me for Beis Hillel? That's not for Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai is a Kiddush. The Kiddush is there's no Kiddush in Beis Hillel to tell me a second time. Right. That's the way the Rush learns. Guys, you should, in Nos, it's very important. When you chazer or when you prepare, always use the Rush. And very, very concise, and he usually encompasses Taisvis. It's very, very, very the Mefirish, according to me and many other people. That's the Mefirish on the Masechta Nazir. It really is. Okay, anyway. Beis Hillel Avi Nazir. Fred Gemara Amru Beis Shammai Chadazimna. Right? Where did he say it? So Amarabba, Tarti Tlas, V'chin Tani Rabchia Tarti Tlas, V'chin Rabbi Shaya Tarti Tlas. You can learn it 2-3 times, 2-3 times. So, guys, 3 cases. 1, dates and figs. 2, cow. 3, door. Right? Dates and figs. Right? Dates and figs, basar, and door. Okay, now. B'tzricha, you need to tell me all 3 cases. Di marbacha, if you tell me what, Begregris of the Vela, Hasamudami Beis Shammai, Havi Nazir, we shouldn't have mechalfin by Novim. It's not such a big stretch to say what he meant. You know what? He can mistake. They're both fruit. They're both small in nature, I guess. Figs and grapes. So therefore, it makes sense that the guy's going ahead and make a mistake. So therefore, he will be a Nazir since he probably meant to be a Nazir and just made a mistake. Avobasa ba'anovim loy mechlef. No one's going to make a mistake between what? Grapes and meat, right? So therefore, I would say in our Mishnah, Beis Shammai would say he's not a Nazir. That would make sense to say in our Mishnah he's not a Nazir. After all, it's so what? It's so bizarre. Be my basar, and if you tell me basar, hachu the army Beis Shammai having Nazir, because bebisar v'chamra, because basar and wine go together. The Rosh quotes a pasuk. The pasuk says, "Zoyle basar." The soive yayin, people are zoyle and basar, immersed in eating basar and yayin. So we see basar and yayin go together. In the Suda, basar and yayin go together. So he mistakenly could say that what he meant when he said basar, he meant yayin. He meant to be a nazir. That's what by basar yayin. But what avol gregris with dveila that you can't make that mistake. Lie. So Kamash Malon, the case of gregris and the veila. So now you have you took care of 2. Now we have to take care of the door. The Marhani Tarti, the Basar and the Gregris, Hani Huda Ka'ami Beis Shammai, Aval Deles, a door, Ema Moida Lahula Beis Hillel. I would say it's Moida the Beis Hillel. Okay? Now, that makes sense to say that the door opens or closes. I'm a Nazir. The Itana Deles Bahakama Beis Hillel, that it's not. Aval Bahach in the first 2 cases, Tarti, by meat and by Gregris, Ema Moida Beis Shammai, Kamash Malon, Deloy. So therefore, you made it strikas of about all 3 cases. So again, so what's Rami Bar Chama? What's the din? The Mishnah. What's the talk of the cow? The cow is crouching in front of him. The cow is crouching in front of him. He says that this cow gets up by itself. Then what? Then I'm going to be a nazir. The cow. This is what the cow is saying, and the Rosh is learning that this is what he's saying in the cow, and this is going to apply to himself, which is a chiddush nifla. But again, that's what it says. That's what it says. It's going to apply to himself. Okay. Now, what was the enzyme? What was the adjective that make this work? If the cow gets up or not, correct? In other words, this whole thing is contingent upon the cow getting up or not, correct? Look at our Mishnah. What does our Mishnah say? Amar Parazu, Haredi Nazir in my medes. Right? My medes. No mention of what? By itself. Eleha. It's not only getting up, it had to get up by itself. In other words, bishlema, if it meant whether you got the cow up or the cow get it up itself, then you could say a medes. But the stam say a medes, and your whole thing is contingent upon eleha, and not say it, says Rava, ikachasam in aseifa. Amar Rava says, Rava, mikatani im omdame eleha. Did we say that what? If it stands up by itself? We never said if it stands up by itself. So therefore, he doesn't like Rami's pshat. For that reason, he disagrees. Ella, now you can get Rava's pshat. Now, guys, according to Rabbi Bar Chama, we sushtel this exactly to Gregris and the Vela. I made it tzrichas up. According to Rava, it doesn't have any shaykhs to the Mishnah, as we're going to see. There's no shaykhs. No need for tzrichas up because it's a totally different ballpark. Totally different ball. Not the same at all. According to Rava. Says the Gemara, Amar Rava, Kigain, Shaisa Para Ravutza Lefanov. The Para is taka lying in front of him. And what does he say? V'amar, Hare alai karbin. He says, if this animal gets up, either by itself or by me, it's upon me as a carbon to bring. Now, where's the nazar part? Where's the nazar part? Where's the nazar part? Guys, where's the nazar part? Look at the words. Look at the words. Look at the words before you answer. El Amar Rava Kigain, Shaisa Para Ravutza Lefanav. The para is lying in front of him. For Amar, and he says, Harei like carbon, it's upon me to bring this as a carbon if the animal gets up by itself or by somebody else. Now, L'char, you're missing one thing. Mishnah said what? Where's Meishami Yamim Nazir? There's got to be a Nazir contingent over here, guys, right? So look at the rush. Look at the rush. In the old Gemaras, it's the wide line, and in your Gemaras, Kigain Shahaisa Paravutz Lefanav. You have it. Kigain Shahaisa Paravutz Lefanav. V'Amar Harilei Carbon. V'Hachi Pirusha Demasnis. You need the rush to explain this, guys. Svura Para Sheni Chayla Lamoy. Right, he's not able to stand up. The Soiva leader, and he thought that the Para is going to make a neder. Shim Tamoy. If you stand up, if he stands up, Bein Me'aleh by itself, Bein Al Yidei Acherim. That takes off the kasha. Once it's Bein Al Yidei Acherim, or right, you don't have the kasha Me'aleh because you had the word Aymed, correct? So in other words, that took care of that. I'll continues. Good. Shetikones la'azara. So the Para will go into the azara. V'yakrivel lekarbin nazar. You'll bring it what as a carbon nazir. V'yafal pi she'mevi Para lekarbin chayva. Mikol makoim hayiragilim lehevi yoim taglachtan karbonos nedava oila ushlamim kidichsev in the pasha of Naziris milvada shetasig yad like vi nidroi v'hu mashlim dvarecha v'aymer harelei carbon nazir. Good. So guys, this animal, they say that it says in the kasha, if you had the means, not only would you bring the carbon chayva, you would bring an oila, a chatas, and a shlamim. If you were wealthy enough, you would bring the davis. You would bring other animals, ashet hasig yadai, according to what you can afford. This para will be one of those. Now, a chidush nifla, guys, the Ramban says the halacha is, this is geschmack as anything in the Gemara, that if you indeed do bring those karbanis, you're a nazir and you can't drink wine until you bring those karbanis. In other words, you would think if you bring the three, you're is nazir and you could drink wine. Once you associate these karbanis and you connect it as a lacha of the nazirs, and therefore it's very geschmack in the Gemara. Why? It's not just like accompany a nazir. Does haste is what? It's goof a part of the naziris. It's goof a part of the naziris. So now you have a shot according to Rava. Says Rava. The guy says, my cow is lying down. The cow says, whether I get up or I don't get up, if I get up, guess what? I am going to be a carbon for a nazir. That's what he says. Good. That's Rava's pshat. Good. Ishameh says you're a nazir. Beis Hillel says you're not. Says the Gemara. Bishlema para bas carbon hu. Eladeles bas carbon he. There were two cases in the Mishnah and two machlokesen. One by animal and one by door. So Bishlem Rami Varchama, you had a pshat in both. But like this pshat, you don't got a pshat in door. Just be aware. Now, I don't know. I'm throwing this out, guys. No one says anything about it. It could be my amaratzis. Do you remember that you could bring a carbon from wood?
You do meat on it.
Right. You ground it up into. Now, does it have to be a log or could it be a door? So I'm saying, so it could be a door. It's shaykh to be a carbon. However, what? Oh, okay, so now it could be it's ice clean, but even so, it would not be a good pshat because I think ashetasig yodai would be an animal. In other words, even if you could bring wood as the carbon, in this Nazir's case, you couldn't. I just want to throw out that it's not such a crazy thing to think a door could be a carbon. We learned menachas, guys. It's got carbon mincha, right? Carbon eitzim, right? We did. You saw dust make pizza good. So I'm saying it's not such a crazy thing. The shot why it's a kasha over here is because even if you could bring it, you could bring it as a nazir, right? Okay, kishmak. You hang around, Yankel, you get menachas.
No, but the problem is the door could have been the kabel kuma.
Again, once you destroy it and lose the shem kli, it's not a problem. Okay, anyway. Ella, so therefore we got a cash, guys. So we don't have pshat, guys, right? We don't have pshat. We don't have pshat, correct? We don't have pshat because to the kasha, Rav is pshat, it makes sense by animal. It doesn't make sense by door. So Ella Amarava, second attempt, Kigoin, Shaisa Para Ravutz Lefanov. The Para was lying in front of him. But Amar, and he says, Hareini Nazir Miyayin. Now he's talking, not the animal, and he says, I am a Nazir from Yayin. Im loy amda. If the animal what? If I can't get this animal up, that's what he's saying. Im loy amda. That's the way they learn shot.
He can do it.
In other words, he can't get the animal up. In other words, if I can't get the animal up, then what? I'm a Nazir, and what happens? The animal gets up. So v'amda me'aleha, and the animal got up by itself. So now that's the question: is the key that he didn't do it, or the key is that what? That the animal is up? Says the Gemara, Beishamai Savri, Turfe the Haigavra, the Gili Das, the mindset of this person, Mishum Ukme biyadehu. He wanted to do it himself. V'haloi Ukme, and he didn't. So Memela, what is he? He's a Nazir. He's a Nazir. He's a Nazir. And the same thing who had in the door. Hareini, I am a Nazir right from Yayin. I'm a Nazir from Yayin if I can't get the door, and the door works by itself. So now the same thing. And Beis Hillel said, no, Mishum de Reviyahu. It's because the animal is what? As long as the animal is Revutza, he'll be a Nazir. As long as the animal doesn't get up, he's a Nazir. And he got up. In other words, like Beis Shammai, he's like Beis Shammai, if he gets the animal up, he won't be a Nazir. If the animal gets up itself, he will be a Nazir. Like Beis Hillel, we don't care about it getting up. As long as the animal didn't get up, right, he's a Nazir. As long as the animal got up. What? It's open, same thing. Open, close, same thing. Open, shut case. Excuse the pun. Says the Gemara. Anyway, the comments. So if this is your pshat, okay, so let's go through. Here's his pshat. I'm making a Kabbalah of Naziris that the animal, if I don't get the animal, I'm Nazir. What? So according to Beis Shammai, you didn't get up the animal. You're a Nazir. According to Beis Hillel, the animal's up. The animal's up. We don't care how it got up. You're not a Nazir. Good. That's the machlokes. Says the Gemara, Ihachi ema seifa. Now, guys, according to this pshat, what didn't we take into account? The busser of the animal. In other words, that we didn't take into account. Why did Rabbi Yehuda say? What did Rabbi Yehuda say in the Mishnah? He said you're coining from the busser of the animal, correct? What does this have to do with the busser of the animal? You just made yourself a Nazir, correct? And nothing to do with the busser of the animal. What did Rabbi Yehuda say? Similar to the Mishnah that you're not a Nazir, but you're also to eat groigers in the Vela. In our Mishnah, he's saying you're not a Nazir, and you can go ahead and not eat meat. According to this, why can't you eat meat? And Rabbi Yehuda says it is koinim. But Rav's case, there's no shaykhis to the animal at all. Rav's case, there's no shaykhis. It's a clear-cut Kabbalah's Nazir based on a condition, right? Masha Enking. But again, Rabbi Yehuda obviously is addressing that. Rav is an Amari, saying pshat in the Mishnah. How could this be the correct pshat in the Mishnah if in fact what? There is no Isra on the Basar, according to Rabbi Yehuda. Read the Gemara Kasha, Ihachi Ema Seifa, Rabbi Yehuda, Afkish Amru Beis Shammai, Lo Amru Ela B'Oime Harei Alai. In a carbon part of Mikamafis Bamidi. You didn't want to matfis anything in the carbon. It was all in you. You didn't matfis anything in the animal. So we got a problem. Okay, let's recap. So far, we had Rami B'Chomis Pshat that he made Mr. Kabbalah Naziris. If what? The Kabbalah, if the animal gets up, and he's going to be also from the basar, from the animal, and if the animal gets up by itself, and it's exactly a shaykhis to what the Mishnah, just like he's also in the Basa, he's a Nazir from Basa, he would be a Nazir, just like he was a Nazir from Gregorius, and the Vela, he would be a Nazir from Basa. However, it doesn't say anything in Mishnah about getting up itself. It just said I made this. It doesn't say allow by itself. Good. Rabbi says a first attempt, Rabbi says that what? That he went ahead and he said that I'm going to be whether it gets up or it doesn't get up. The par is lying over here, and it's going to be a carbon. It's going to be a carbon. What carbon? What's the shaykhus in the Naziris? It's going to be the carbon of a Nazir. What's the problem? Delis. It doesn't deal with Delis. So now we have another case. What's the new case? You say you're a Nazir from Yayin. Well, if you can get the animal, you can't get the animal up, you'll be a Nazir from Yayin. Animal stands up by itself. You didn't get the animal up. Says Beis Shammai, you're a Nazir. Say Beis Hillel, if the animal got up, the whole kivun was that the animal should stay down. It got up, so you're not a Nazir. Problem with this case is, then what's Rabbi Yehuda who's arguing, saying you're not a Nazir, but you're also to eat the basa? How would you also eat the basa? There's no mechanics of eating the basa over here. It's a very good shmaka. Again, very good shmaka Gemara. If we follow the flow, says the Gemara. Ella ba'omer harei carbon para. Okay, Ella could go in the army. Hareini nazir b'psara. I'm a nazir from the basa. We're just fine tuning it. Imlay umda, if it doesn't get up, meaning if I don't get it up, and it stood up by itself. The man didn't bring it up; it went up by itself. So now, since it went up by himself, he's a nazir according to Beis Shammai. Since he didn't fulfill it, he's a nazir from what? From basa. If he's a nazir from basa, now Rabbi Yehuda could say that what? He's not a nazir, but he's a nazir from basa. Beis Shammai saw that torfa the haigavra. The svar of this person was mishum ukme biyadei, is because why he had to physically do it. Who v'halei ukma, and he didn't. Ubeis hilosarve turfa dai gavra. The svar of this person is mishum the revia that it should be remain seated. But kamis, and it got up. It didn't remain lying down. Good. Now mashma, according to Beis Hillel, guys, if it would get up, would it be a nazir? Would it, guys? Let's go through this. Okay. Here's the case. The guy says the following: I'm a nazir from the basar. If I can't get this animal to stand up, he doesn't get the animal to stand up. The animal stands up by itself. Says Beis Shammai, you're a nazir. Says Beis Hillel, his hakpada was the animal getting up. Mashma, guys, if the animal didn't get up, would he be a nazir? According to Beis Hillel? One second. Fair ice. Why did the Gemara say? It sounds like, yeah. Again, let's go through what the text of the Gemara says. Says Beis Hillel, the reason why you're not a nazir, because there's a kavanah was it should remain what? What happens if it got up? You'd be a nazir. 1 second. Shlei is never. We had a whole Gemara. There's no way in the world you can go ahead and become a nazir if you went ahead and said I'm a nazir from basar. Shlei nadvin, kinedam is nadvin, nothing, zero, garnished. That's the problem of the Gemara. The problem of the Gemara is it makes no sense. The way you were teaching up the Gemara is the whole reason Beis Hillel says that he's not a nazir is because it got up. Mashma, if it didn't get up, he would be a nazir. How in the world can he be a nazir if loy misnadvet kedever misnadvin and he wasn't because he said I'm a nazir from basar? Shmaka kasha. It's such a good kasha. The Gemara is going to ask it right now. Says the Gemara. It says the Gemara. Beis Hillel savri Eloi kamis having nazir. Does Beis Hillel hold if he doesn't get up he's a nazir? But Amri bipsara loy having nazir, right? He said from your basa you're not a nazir, and Beis Hillel clearly says you weren't misnadbe kedever misnadben. So according to Beis Hillel, there's no way in the world you're a nazir whether it lies down forever or it gets up. And the Gemara look Kamay Beis Shammai kama. He's saying according to the reasoning of Beis Shammai. Lidi Don, according to me, I feel like kamis nami le having nazir. Well, you know why? Shalei nistadve can never understand. The true Beis Shammai that misle having nazir that you say he is a nazir if he gets up. Oidolamias the turfa dahade gavra. What was the keyman of this person? Mishum the revia that it just remained lying. Well, kamis and it didn't. Beis Shammai loy tarfu the hagavra mishum ukma biyadei. His hakpada was that he do the act of getting it up, and since he didn't do the act of getting it up, right, it got it by itself, right, then he would know. Well,